Hello, this is Sandeep Unnithan and welcome to Defense Deep Dive. India is set to buy 114 Rafale fighter jets from France for over $40 billion. This is the biggest defense deal in India's history. The Indian Air Force says it needs the 6 squadrons of Rafales to urgently replace its falling squadron numbers. Now, the IAF is at 29 fighter squadrons as against a sanctioned strength of 42 fighter squadrons. The Pakistan Air Force has 25 fighter squadrons and China has over 60 fighter squadrons. Now, both China and Pakistan are building up their air forces. Pakistan will soon receive 5th generation fighter aircraft from China. And China, meanwhile, is adding close to 200 4th and 5th generation fighter aircraft to its inventory each year. But which aircraft will the Rafale replace? Let's dive in. The IAF has been criticized for flying one of the world's most diverse arsenal of fighter jets. It has 6 fighter jet types: Su-30 MKIs, Rafales, the HAL Tejas, the Mirage 2000, the MiG-29 and the Jaguar. Now, this diversity is a nightmare for training and logistics. Now, the 6 squadrons of around 114 Rafales, which will be inducted in the 2030s, will enable the Air Force to standardize its fleet on around one aircraft type. And the beauty is that this is an aircraft already in service, which means training and logistics is that much easier. Now, 18 aircraft, that is one squadron, will be delivered in flyaway condition, and the remaining 96 will be locally assembled in India. Now, the 2030s are also the decade where the IAF will retire 12 squadrons of MiG-29s, Jaguars and Mirage 2000s, numbering close to 180 aircraft. Now, these 3 jets were inducted into service in the 1980s. So while the MiG-21s made up the IAF's largest number of light fighters in the 80s and the 90s, the Mirage, the MiG-29 and the Jaguar made up the medium weight category of multi-role strike and air superiority aircraft. First, the Jaguars. India is the world's only operator of the Anglo-French Jaguar deep penetration fighter bomber. Now, this aircraft was ordered from the UK in the late 1970s and is today with over 100 aircraft in service. It is the IAF's second largest aircraft type after the Su-30 MKI. Now, the Jaguars function as low-level strike aircraft to bomb enemy targets. They're also called deep penetration strike aircraft. Now, the first of the Jaguars will start to fly out of the IAF by the end of this decade, and the remaining aircraft could fly out by the middle of the 2030s. Next, the MiG-29 Fulcrum. The IAF also operates the MiG-29 air superiority fighter aircraft it purchased from the former Soviet Union in the 1980s. Now, these jets were upgraded nearly 2 decades ago for close to $900 million. Now, their operational lives were extended by 10 to 15 years. But all of these squadrons, all 3 squadrons in fact, will be completely phased out by 2036. And finally, the Mirage 2000. The Mirages were acquired from France in 1985. A 3rd squadron of these aircraft were purchased in the early 2000s. Now, all 3 squadrons of around 52 aircraft were upgraded by Dassault in India at a cost of over 2 billion euros. Now, these aircraft have had an extremely successful career in the Indian Air Force. They were used to bomb targets during the 1999 Kargil War, and they carried out the 2019 Balakot bombing. The Mirage 2000 is also a dedicated nuclear strike aircraft. It forms part of India's Strategic Forces Command. Now, the Mirages will be the last of these 3 aircraft types to go out of service, with the last Mirages flying out by the late 2030s after being in service for over 4 decades. Hence, the IAF a decade hence, that is in the mid-2030s, will comprise primarily of 3 major aircraft types: the Su-30 MKIs as the heavy fighters, the Rafales as the medium weight fighter, and the LCA Tejas Mark 1A and Mark 2 coming in as the light fighters. A handful of 5th generation fighter aircraft, possibly like the advanced medium combat aircraft and even Possibly the Russian Su-57 fighter jets are also likely to enter service by the 2030s. But primarily, the Indian Air Force will comprise of these three aircraft types in the heavy, the medium, and the light categories.